Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment of my Top 5 Links in the Legend of Zelda series. If you haven't got to watch my pick for number 5, just check out this link right here. And before we get on into this thing, I'm just going to say this. Don't shoot me. Now with that out of the way, let's jump right into it with number 4. Yep, that's right, I'm putting Ocarina of Time Link at number 4. You'll see this incarnation of Link in both Ocarina of Time and my personal favorite, Majora's Mask. Now, a lot of people were probably expecting him to be at number 1, but hey, it's my list, and I have my reasons. I'll start by saying Ocarina of Time Link is probably the most patient Link in the entire series. In his journeys, he has to put up with some pretty annoying people, and is able to do so without giving them what they probably deserve. Hurry it up, King Zora. I don't have all day here. I've got a freaking world to save. Seriously, dude? Your blacksmithing sucks. You are one petty little man, aren't you, Mido? Listen, I just want to go to Death Mountain, so just shut your mouth and open the gate. You are not a good dancer. Really? You're just gonna make me carry you around everywhere? Oh, that's a real fair race, Dampy. That's not really a good place to sleep. You're a carpenter. Stop being lazy and do your job. Stop being a sore loser and give me my horse, you piece of crap. Bunch of lousy racist kids. You're not gonna trick me this time, you friggin' owl. Oh my god, I know Navi. He also has to put up with a lot of weirdos. You can never trust a late night pawn shop. Whoa, easy there, ghost salesman. Oh, good god, what happened to you? I don't even know what to say about you, you bean eater. Sorry to bother the two of you, but could you please cover up those nips? Poor Link, can't even use the toilet in peace. Oh, happy mask salesman. What's with that smile, and all your mysterious powers? Who am I kidding? You're still awesome. And you. You're the biggest creep of them all. But, even though he had to deal with all those creeps and weirdos, he was still a good enough guy to genuinely care enough to help a lot of people. As far as equipment goes, he was able to get a hold of some of the coolest stuff. Those are some killer boots, man. Well now that, ladies and gentlemen, is just impressive. Alright, I'm really gonna have to be sneaky here if I'm gonna get past all of these guards. But who needs to do that when you have the stone mask? Man, those things are huge. I'll just have to use this giant's mask. So long, Bomb. He even gets to play around with a little bit of magic. Ocarina Link is also clearly the most musically inclined of the series. Either he learned to play the ocarina in his time with the Kokiri, or he's just a natural. Link learns plenty of songs in both games that help him through his quest. With the Ocarina of Time in hand, he learns songs that let him warp from place to place, songs that soothe souls and heal curses, and songs that let him defy time itself. In Termina, he even managed to find time to master a few other instruments. He probably did like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. In his travels, this Link had to deal with lots of destruction, hopelessness, and death. There weren't too many pleasant places that he got to venture into. For instance, I really don't know how he made it through that sandstorm. Some of the more memorable creepy places that he had to travel to include the inside of the great fish, Lord Jabu Jabu. Really mostly because that's just gross. The Forest Temple probably wouldn't have been that bad if it didn't have that haunted house feel to it. You know what else has a haunted feel to it? A graveyard. He has to go through a whole temple built under a graveyard, complete with underworld ferry system. Termina itself is pretty depressing and void of hope. You spend your whole time there with that cursed moon inching closer and closer to you. And you have to visit places like poisoned swamps, desolate frozen mountaintops, in a region inhabited primarily by the dead. Stone Tower Temple itself to me is just incredibly off-putting. Even this nice scenery is surreal when you know you're inside that cursed moon. Alright, now let's talk battles. This Link takes on plenty of enemies. I probably don't have time to talk about all of them, but let's look at some of the most notable. He takes on some of the nastiest mini-bosses in the entire series. Some of these include the terrifying and disgusting Dead Hand. I mean, really, ugh. Gomez here seems to be some kind of demon Grim Reaper with bats. Don't forget the bats. He also has to take down some heavily armored Iron Knuckles throughout his adventures. Just look at that axe. He even has to take out an evil doppelganger in the battle with Dark Link. Ocarina Link also takes on some tough bosses. He puts down the ghostly Phantom Ganon, the Fire Dragon Volvagia, the Shadow Beast Bongo Bongo, the surrogate mothers of Ganondorf, Twin Rova, the mechanical monster Got, the massive Twin Mold, and the rest. Of course, Link also takes on Ganondorf, in an epic battle to save Hyrule. After charging up Ganon's tower, Link confronts the evil king with the Master Sword and the Triforce of Courage. Link takes on Ganondorf in a game of one-on-one magic tennis, but is able to come out on top. Ganondorf goes down for the count, but the tower begins to collapse on itself. Link and Zelda hurry to safety at the bottom. And just when you think it's over, Ganondorf uses the Triforce of Power to transform into the beastly Ganon. Catching Link off guard, he manages to knock the Master Sword out of the hero's hand. But Link is able to improvise and stall Ganon long enough to be able to retrieve the sword. With Master Sword back in hand, Link deals a devastating series of attacks to Ganon. And at that moment, Zelda and the sages are able to seal away Ganondorf away in the dimensional void. With his job done, Zelda returns Link to his original time in order to live out the rest of his childhood days. Link also takes on another incredibly powerful foe, Majora's Mask. Using the weak Skull Kid as a puppet, the evil mask went around Termina, bringing sorrow and fear to its people. Using its power, Majora begins to pull the moon towards Termina and bring about its apocalypse. After journeying around Termina, Link was able to free the Guardians of the Land. Link challenges Skull Kid on top of the clock tower at midnight, and is able to summon the Guardians of Termina to halt the moon's descent. The mask then sheds its puppet and opts to take further control of the cursed moon. With destruction still looming overhead, Link and Tattle take chase. Inside, Link is oddly greeted by a sunny meadow with a lone tree and several masked children running around. After speaking with the other children, Link notices a child sitting alone, wearing Majora's Mask itself. The child offers Link a mask to play with him and states that he'll be the good guy and you'll be the bad guy. Link then finds himself in an oddly colorful chamber. Transformed by the power of the fierce deity, Link battles it out with Majora's Mask. Sustaining damage, the mask transforms first into Majora's incarnation. And later, the more powerful Majora's Wrath. Delivering a final blow, Majora disintegrates and the impending doom is averted. Back on the surface, Link is greeted by a grateful Skull Kid and is notified by the happy mask salesman that the evil has left the mask. Now, there is a good reason Ocarina Link is not higher on this list. The main reason surrounds the events related to the end of Ocarina of Time. According to the Hyrule Historia, an official Zelda timeline, the events of Ocarina split the timeline into three. One following Link after he has returned to his time. There, Link and Zelda are able to stop Ganondorf's plans to use them to enter the Sacred Realm and obtain their Triforce. Majora's Mask takes place sometime fairly soon after this. And later on still, Ganondorf's attempted execution leads into the events of Twilight Princess. In another one of the time splits, time continues on after Link, Zelda, and the sages seal away Ganondorf. Eventually, Ganondorf escapes the seal, and with no hero there to stop him, the events that lead into the Wind Waker take place. And in the final split, Link is actually defeated by Ganondorf. That's right, in this one Link actually loses. Because of this, Ganondorf is able to obtain the complete Triforce. Somehow after this, the sages are able to seal Ganondorf within the corrupted Sacred Realm. This results in the events that lead into A Link to the Past. With the real possibility of Ocarina Link actually losing, and then Ganondorf coming back in every timeline, I just can't bring myself to put him any higher on the list. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you already haven't, go ahead and watch my pick for number 5.